everybody is going to learn economics, and the time of speaking in tongues is almost over, where everybody is going to tell themselves, like, listen, I want to be honest with you. It is not because you're not praying enough. It is not because you're not godly enough. It is not because you're not paying your tithe or you are not paying offering enough that your business is struggling, you are struggling, and all of that. The reason why you are is because you have criminals in charge of your country who have destroyed your country and still destroying it. So no amount of prayer is going to spare you. You can pretend that God is going to take care of all your needs. You can say that to everybody. But when it is you, when you have to bring out your calculator to calculate what is coming in and what is going out of your own purse or your own wallet, and then you go no say, hey, God, they try you. Abi, that God that is providing for your need is trying, or you will know better, Sha, from your wallet. So he's right when he said that he didn't believe that God created Nigeria. There is no country created by God. And you can say, God said, let there be Venezuela. And then, boom, Venezuela. Oh yeah, there's no country created by God anywhere. People came together to form their countries, and those who they formed theirs for them, especially those ones they actually like enslaved and colonized. Like they forced all of us together. We have nothing in common, and forced us together and called us Nigeria, Northern Nigeria, Southern Nigeria. Do you understand? So then, not with the intention of making us these prosperous people. No, the purpose was just for business. And the business from over 120 years ago is still ongoing. You just have different, business, your business dealers, the ones you call leaders. So if a pastor faces his own congregation and tells them the truth, say, listen, guys, maybe, we are faithful people, we are godly people, and we believe that our God answers our prayers and the rest of that. There are some certain things we need to tell ourselves. When you have rogues running a country, an economy, there is no how smart you are. It's just going to be a matter of time. Their corruption, their incompetency, and every other thing in there that actually ruins a country. They say, if you want a textbook description or definition of how not to run a country or how to ruin a country, just collect the template from the ruiners of Nigeria. And they are working to increase their salaries too, right? Talking about everybody is now slimming down. This one is just by the way. Let me show you this person's personal experience 2 nights ago.
In fact, gbogbo tí wá dogun ọ̀rọ̀ tí Awólọ́wọ̀ sọ fún wa ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Kò sígbà tí revolution ní ṣẹlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tá à ní jà fúnra wa. Awólọ́wọ̀ ti sọ pé a máa jà fúnra wa lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ni o. Mi ò sí l'Ékòó láti kan bí ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì sẹ́yìn. Mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ dé s'Ékòó báyìí sí ni. Mo dá gẹ́gẹ́ kí n ra top taste. Búrẹ́dì top taste tí mo rà ní 1,200 tẹ́lẹ̀. 1,005 ni mo bá báyìí sìn ó lélẹ́yìí o mo rẹ̀ ti promise àwọn ọmọ mi pé màá bá wọn rà wálé bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ṣe máa rà nígbà la fẹ́ bọ́ lóko ẹrú ìjọba Tinubu kò favour anybody everybody ń pariwo àwọn ọlọ́jà gan ń pariwo wọn ò lè sùn wọn ò lè wo wọn láwọn àmọ́yàwọ̀ tó ti kú ẹtún wọn ti ọjà wọn lójú èyí lásán wọn pariwo títí wọn là ń dìbò fún yín àwọn Ìgbò wa ń fún ọ ṣe ẹ̀ ń sìn yín wọn pé kò tán ìbẹ́yìn ló kàn ṣé bá ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ́yìí ìjọba Tinubu ara ń ní àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ìyà ń jẹ wá Nàìjíríà mo ń rìnsẹ̀ lọ lébà sí ni o mọ́tò gan wọ́n pe Sango fún mi ní 800 naira ẹ̀rí orí ìrìn mo wà báyìí o kò sówó mọ́tò ṣé bá ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ̀ ìjọba Tinubu ìyà ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀rọ ọjọ́ ọ̀la ẹ̀ mọ́jọ́ táyì gbó kú Tinubu àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìjọba tẹ̀ ń ṣe ìjọba òfò lé wa lórí ìyà tẹ̀ fi ń jẹ wọ́n ti tó kí ló dé ìjọba mẹ̀kúnnù ẹ̀ fìyà jẹ wá ẹ̀yin rèé o Ọlọ́run rèé o ẹ wá ń kàǹpé ìwèrè tí ò ní túmọ̀ ẹ kówó jẹ ẹ ṣe gbogbo ẹ fi ń tún ara yín ṣe ẹ wo tàwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ṣé bá ṣe máa bá lọ lélẹ́yìí pẹ̀lú ògùn Ọlọ́run gbogbo ẹni tó ń da ìjọba Nàìjíríà rù ọ̀run á baṣẹ́ wọn jẹ́ àìsàn tí ipa owó kà ló máa jẹ́ tí pẹ̀lú ògùn Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú ẹ̀dùn ọkàn mo fi sọ̀rọ̀ o inú mi ò dùn rárá búrẹ́dì 1005 rèé top taste 1005 ẹ máa ṣòfò ní ẹ̀yin ìjọba wa ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning. Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. You know why I played you that clip? That was a Ronuku. I'm sorry if you don't understand Yoruba, I can help you. A Ronuku traveled out of Lagos, just one day out of Lagos, and he came back to Lagos. He decided that, oh, he will need to buy this bread for his children when he gets home. So they can, like, welcome daddy, you give them bread. Now that bread, according to him, used to be 1,200 naira. Just for him to leave Lagos for one day, and he came back, it is already 1,500 naira. So he had to use all the money on him to buy the bread. Now he couldn't even afford like transport fare home anymore. That was when he remembered, because he said from that place, so I don't know where he was, so to Songo will cost him 800 naira. So that moment he just gave it to him. It was like, I will just walk. That person in that video, except if he probably saw any lifts, was expected to walk for about maybe 35 to 40 kilometers or 45 kilometers back to where he is actually really going. So he would have to trek. That was what got him to bring out his phone. He said, Ìjọba Tinubu, this Tinubu's government is actually not favoring anybody. You said that the Igbos want to take Idumota. He didn't even know what he's talking. He said the Igbos want to take the Idumota. Look at us, we are suffering here. Ronuku, that's who they are. If somebody just call him and say, Shokoti, send your account, and they give him 5,000 naira, he will eat every word they said in that video. He will eat everything. Because he can now pay for transport. Maybe somehow, maybe even pay for 1,000 naira data on his phone so that he could go on social media to go and say, Baba Tinubu, thank you. Continue what you are doing. This government is working. Thank you, Honorable Olu. Thank you very much for your brotherly advice and for the support. Now 5,000 they give him. He will say that on social media. Once that money finished, he will then start the fasting. Like the fasting, until he can't take it anymore. He will scream again. The Ronukus, the Ronu bandits, and Ronu Nazis. And when the hunger catch them, that's when they always remember that Nigeria is not working. Some of them are so stupid because now mental disorder. Here you get, it's actually a mental disorder for anybody to tell you that he is a Tinubu supporter. You need to watch them closer. Apart from the guy men inside them, or those who know waiting they happen, those who actually know what is going on, cashing out from the whole thing. But you see all those goblins, all those vermins, all those sewage dwellers, the worst of the worst. It is a mental disorder. And that's why if you have any of them in your family, you probably may, have a clue of what you are dealing with. Give them money. Just give them 10,000 naira. They will go on social media and they will write a piece too and thank Tinubu, thank everybody and all of that. So when the hunger starts again, that is when they will scream. What kind of a country is this? Then the next day, I want to You understand? So I don't really feel sorry for them. And you shouldn't say that. Elections have consequences. So everybody, they bear your own consequence, have been consequences. Consequences. Here is somewhere in Kano. They were doing burial for APC because of this their ADC. Not in Kano. Somewhere in the north. Why Gandola was also good. This one was in Kano. This was Gandola, the Babanriga mobile banking CEO of Kano. Anyway, Obasanjo did say that the real enemies of the people are the thieves holding political office in Nigeria, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. Now, again, this is another person that you would, normally they would say, listen to the message and ignore the messenger. And typically, right, if you're from Nigeria, it's so hard to separate the messenger and his message. It's a very, very tough one. But there are people who manage it too. Tinubu is proposing to increase the salary of the public office holders again. And they're likely going to announce that before the end of the year in order to get people more confused, to buy into that. They are also flying the rumor that it's actually not a rumor, but they are flying this idea of renegotiating how they share the money, like how they share the monthly RMFAC or MAMFAC, revenue mobilization and sharing formula or something. Those guys. So they say they want to change how much the federal government will take, the states, the local governments, and stuff like that, so that federal government will take less and state and local governments will take more. Right? But that is not the real agenda. Here is someone reminding everybody that morality or what have you ordinarily should tell them that this is not the right time, right? To be flaunting this kind of, like Aregbe Mogbuba Kabiru said, right? Nigeria is bleeding, people are groaning, but APC is feasting. Listen to this.
Well, thank you very much. It's actually, first and foremost, I have to align with most of Nigerians and a lot of the people who have, had their own opinion about this particular, new development. It's quite unfortunate, and I see it as insensitive on this part of government to really put this in front of Nigerians at this time. The timing is not right. Nigeria is going through a lot of both economic and political and social distress. We have high inflation, we have a debt crisis, we have an economy that needs to be revamped. We are, borrowing from anywhere we can find money from. And so at this time when politicians, and most especially in the eyes of the average Nigerians, are the ones who are actually earning more than anybody else. I mean, with a salary of, the average lawmaker makes, between 700,000 and 800,000 naira, or even up to 1 million naira a month in basic salary. Now, you talked about salaries and allowances. Of course, allowances, go as high as 10, 12 million. I mean, we've been told not too long ago that the average lawmaker goes home with about 15 million naira every month. I mean, how many Nigerians take that kind of pay home on a monthly basis? And so at this time when we as Nigerians are struggling with the reforms that have been put in place by the government and trying to cope with the economic hardships, the average civil servant and the average private sector worker is burdened by high prices and scarcity of goods and services. Now come up and put this in front of us that you want to now more than double the take-home basic pay of the president, lawmakers, members of the judiciary, who just got their 300% salary implemented a year ago. I mean, it's not just absurd, it's also near ridiculous. And so it's some people will say it's a smack in the face of Nigerians to even present this at this time. And so I don't approve it. What I would suggest to the RMAFC at this time, since they're already meeting in Kanu, is that they should try and discuss how they can reduce the allowances, because that is the big elephant in the room. So allowances that run between 8 million to 10 to 15 million naira every month for the average lawmaker, all those allowances have to go. These are people elected by us to represent us. Not only are they making millions of naira every month, they don't pay for health services because it's all part of their own package. They don't pay for transport. They get vehicles that are maintained and fueled and serviced by our taxpayers' money. I mean, they have education allowances for their children, etc. And so they're already feeding fat on our own sweat and our own tears and our own blood as average workers in Nigeria. So it's time for them to actually give back to us more than we are giving.
And of course, that is not even going to happen. People talk about these things, right? In a working country, right? You get to see proposing things like this alone would actually trigger a mass protest in the country. Not to talk of you even like approving it. That can cost you your election. But simply because Nigeria is not a real place, so it's so hard to understand sometimes. So don't even try to, because they're going to do it. That's going to be the third time that Tinubu is increasing the salaries of these public officers. There's a court judgment against it, but it was ignored and disobeyed. Even the judges that gave the judgment, they accepted the salary increase. Plus one big estate that they are building mansions for them in Abuja with a wiki. So it's unreal. That's why when Obasanjo met with them, I think this was last year or thereabouts. So that video resurfaced again. And this is where I'm going to say, ignore the messenger and listen to the message again, or just do you. You can swear for the messenger self if you want to. Shall listen. Here.
What is the character of the people that are in government? With all due respect, most of them should be behind the bar. And that is the truth. most of them should be behind the bar. Some should even be in the gallows. Now, if these are the people that are bullying us, then what do you expect? It doesn't matter whether you make whatever you make it will not. So the point is that the character of the people that are coming to government, their attributes, the sort of people, who are they? In my own part of the world, even when you want to give a daughter to marry, you say, hey,